And as usual, let me ask you guys if you can hear and see us. We're streaming on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. So at least one comment from each of the platforms, please, so we can start off nicely.
Hopefully, this time with sound and vision.
Yeah, unlike the last week. But once again, apologize for the last issue. We had a technical issue with sound. Hopefully, this is not the case today. So let's hear your comments. Let's see if we're visible and if you can hear us properly. Yay! That's great. Thank you very much for your comments. How about
Andrzej, Karolina,
LinkedIn?
thanks.
Thank you, Andrzej. Thank you, Carolina.
Much appreciated, of course.
Yep. There we go. Thank you very much. Okay. So, moment of introduction. I'm Patrick from Landingi Customer Success Team, and I'm responsible from doing all things necessary to make your landing pages and campaigns bring you the best of the best of the result. We're improving, we're optimizing your campaigns, and of course, we'd love to meet you in order to make your goals achievable and well, working towards it every day. And today with me, Carol, which is actually my boss, so I need to tread lightly. Carol, a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, today you are the boss, with a much bigger experience regarding the live webinar sessions. So today you are the boss. But yeah, in our daily work, I'm a customer success team leader, so I'm supervising all the procedures and work of our customer success agents to make your campaigns as effective as possible, and as Patrick mentions, to make your goal achievable, let's say. So yeah, that's what we are working on every day.
Okay.
Hopefully with success.
Yeah.
If any one of you had a chance to talk with us in Landingi environment, let's say, just type one in chat, so we can see you or something.
All right. I recognize a couple of faces, so I think we're good. We're here in a good company. Okay, so without further ado, today's subject is enhance your landing page design with functionalities available in Landingi. Actually, we're going to talk about three of them, which is unfolding section, gallery, and a slider. Carol here will walk you through it. In a moment, I'm going to share his screen to show you his screen, so you can see actually how does he proceed according to our instruction from the help center, of course, to implement these functionalities that will make your landing pages look fresh, look modern, and look very attractive to your potential customer. So, Carol, over to you then.
With no further ado, let's kick it off. So hopefully you can see my screen right now. I will work on our landing page, Landingi account, obviously. And the first feature I will show you guys is the unfolding section, which is most commonly used as a FAQ section on your landing pages. And I will do it step by step. With our help center article. So yeah, just going straight back to the business. Let me just go through our instruction. And the first step is to obviously create a landing page and add a JavaScript to your landing page. This JavaScript doesn't have to be adjusted anyhow. So you just basically copy the JavaScript that is right here, copy it and paste it in the JavaScript section of your landing page dashboard. Some of you might recognize this place already because this is also the place where you add any analytic codes, any tracking third-party code. So you may know this place already. But yeah, let me just unfolding section. Let me name the JavaScript I'm adding. Let me just paste it right here, just the way it is from the instruction. And let's just hit add to make that JavaScript work on our landing page. So this is the very first step. as per next steps, I just went a bit forward with that. We need to navigate to the editor and actually create the sections, the two sections. The first one, which will be a trigger to the section below, which will appear and disappear upon certain clicks, right? So let me just do this and navigate to the editor. And after a couple of seconds, here we are. So let me just create, as I mentioned, we need at least two sections because you can have more than two sections to do this. So in case of FAQ, you can have a multiple questions created in this method. But just for the sake of presentation, let me just create two sections as per, of course, our instruction. So we need to have two sections and add classes to them. So it can be visible right here at the bottom. So for every single element in the editor, you can add or define a class for it, which is available right here, classes for every single element separately. And as per manual, for the class that should, for the section that should untrigger, unfold after some click, we need to name it slide section right here, right? So let me go to this section and slide section. That's the first one. And we need to create an icon or a button, if you like, that will actually be that active element upon which will unfold the section upon the click. So let me just create some random icon right here from our base. Yeah, it can be just some drop arrow. Let me just look for some. Yeah, that one looks fine. I can obviously also create some text. Question number 1, for example. Of course, that just to give you a brief example of what this may look like. Answer 1, and define a section as per manual for the clickable element slide trigger. So also we need to put that here in class. So once I click on the element, I just put it right here. So slide trigger. All right, so slide section for the section that needs to unfold, and the slide trigger class for the element that is clickable. So that is basically all. So let me just publish my landing page and see if that works in real digital life. Hopefully there will be no issues with that. And yes, as we can see in our editor, this section can be visible, but with the slide section class, it is actually hidden before somebody clicks on the element and unfolds it, right? So yeah, this is basically how you can do it and how it works. So yeah.
Okay, so that's for unfolding section. That's all for unfolding section. Obviously, how Carol mentioned, it is very popular solution for FAQ sections. In case of FAQs, you need to multiply the effect. So obviously, there are a couple of pairs of questions: slide trigger, slide trigger, slide trigger, slide section. Of course, it doesn't have to be necessarily FAQ. It can also be sort of quiz on your landing page. When in the trigger section you're using, let's say, a question, while the unfolding section hides the answer to that question, and all sorts of educational pages. So yeah, there are only your imagination is a barrier here. The sky is the limit, as they say. So what we need to do is to use our imagination to implement these functionalities to make your pages more and more attractive to your visitors. The next section we'd like to, the next feature we'd like to present to you is image gallery, which also have a variety of examples on our landing pages, on the landing pages of our customers. So yeah, let's just hit it.
Yeah, sure. So basically, two features, the two next features, so the image gallery and a slider. It's a pretty similar features because both act like a carousel for your images or as a galleries for your images. However, with a slight differences between them. So the first one I will show is the image gallery, which actually shows a gallery upon clicking some image, right? So once you click, for example, you have a section with 5 images in it, and you can click on a certain image, and once you click or your visitor clicks on the image, the the image gallery will appear, and you will be able to, or your visitor will be able to view the whole thing. This is very simple to do. You don't need to add any JavaScript code for this. You basically just need to, let me just add new section for this purpose. And let me just try to add, let's say, three images from my gallery. So that will be my image number 1. This will be my image number 2. And let's say, yeah, let's just align that well. My design sense is not very well, so don't worry, guys. Please don't judge me.
No, you're doing just fine. You're doing just fine. Yeah. Still better than me.
Yeah, just I'm not your boss for today, so you don't have to,
Don't need to bother you up. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, let's say we got that 3 images for as an example here, and all we need to do is define a click action for them. And one of the options to select here is image gallery. So this is actually our native option in our editor, and all you need to do is basically click on this, and by default there is a gallery name attached to the image, and you can actually with this option create multiple image galleries on your landing pages. So for example, if you will have six images, and you would like to separate them to 2 different image galleries, you can define this name here as per your preferences. Exactly. Yeah. So this way you can build a multiple different separate gallery designs, image galleries. So let me just, for the sake of presentation, create and let me just adjust it just so you see that it is editable. Yeah, Landingi 1, Landingi 2, and the last one, image gallery, and Landingi 1 as well. Yeah, so we got the gallery names set up. So again, let me publish the page and see how does it look like in our real virtual world. After a couple of seconds, here we got our test URL. And as you can see, the images are available on your landing page, and you can click on them. And what happens after you click them? The gallery appears, right? So that's why it is an image gallery. You can browse through the images added to that certain gallery. So yeah, that's the way it is. I guess that's really simple, and you don't need to add any JavaScript, any HTMLs. Just basically use our native image gallery features.
Yeah, and what can we use image gallery for, you ask? Well, obviously, as a stage agent, you can publish the photos of a property. In case you're an artist, for example, a photographer, you can place your portfolio in the form of photography gallery. So pretty much depends on your branch, depends on your industry. You can pretty much add the photo of everything. If you're selling a product on a particular landing page, you can simply add a couple of photos, how the product looks separately, how it looks if it's a couple of clothing or a smart band or something that you can put on. You can add the real product photo on a real user, because that's what it's desired on today's landing page design, that the product needs to be shown in actual use. And pretty much everything that comes up to your head. If you are designing your landing page, the only thing you need to know and remember about is not to overcrowd your landing page with too much of heavy content images, because as you probably know, it may affect your ads bits and in general the Google AdWords algorithm. So make sure you add as many photos as you need, but in reasonable amount, because obviously it's I know it's very tempting to make your landing page a really work of art, piece of art, but too much isn't too good in case of fast landing pages, for sure. So yeah, that was an image gallery, and yeah, let's make some noise for Carol, because obviously he did well with those few features, and the biggest caliber is still ahead of us. So yeah, we are going to show you how to implement a slider. A slider may look terrifying, however, I'm sure that thanks to Carol, you're going to go through it step by step without any hesitation and additional fears. So again, Carol, over to you, and show them how it's done.
Yeah. So let's just kick off with that. As I mentioned at the beginning of the image gallery presentation, this is also, the slider is also kind of an image gallery feature or element. However, this image slider is more dynamic on your landing page. You don't, it's not the way like you click on the on the image and a big gallery appears, but you can actually make that big image gallery that I just showed you a small dynamic image slider on your landing page directly, right? So how to do this? This will require some JavaScript and HTML action, which again, we provide you within our instruction. So again, let's just go step by step with our instruction, and let's try to build it together. If you are if you got the Landingi account, you can try to do it with me alongside. So that's gonna be nice. And yeah. So first off, let me just as in the first example, unfolding section, just copy the JavaScript code provided within the instruction and paste it on my into my JavaScript section of my landing page. So let me just navigate back to my JavaScript. Let me add new script, image slider. I'm just pasting it again. No changes required here, and I'm just adding it straight away. So that part pretty easy. And the next parts will involve working in the editor. So let me go back to the editor straight away. And as per instruction, once the JavaScript code is applied correctly, we need to add an HTML code, which we will also need to implement a special element in our editor, which is HTML element. So let me just do it right now. Let me just try to add some new section and add that HTML element right here. Let me just make that a little bit bigger. So the HTML, of course, this one is also fully adjustable, able to adjust.
Adjustable.
Adjustable.
That's the word, yeah.
Thanks, Patrick.
First, that's the best.
And yeah, what we need to do is basically, again, copy the code from the instruction and paste it in the HTML element. So let me do this straight away. And the thing here is that we need to adjust our HTML code and replace the example URL of images, or images URLs if you like, with our actual picture URLs, right? So the question is, how do I get my image URLs, right? So our suggested option is that first off, you need to add them to your landing page, which later on you can remove them from. And in the inspect option of your landing, you can actually see the URL of your images and use them in your HTML element. So let me just try to do it straight away. So once again, let me just publish the page. And as per our instruction very quickly. Let me go back here. You can see that it is obviously every single step is it's explained step by step where you need to go and what you need to do to make that work. And basically, here on your landing page, we got already added images, and I will try to take URLs of that images and use them on my landing pages. So how can I do it? I can right click on my image and go to inspect. So this way I can go to the source code of the page. And here, as you can see, I got a couple of different URLs. And once I hover upon certain URL, the element will be highlighted, right? So in this scenario, I can see that this very URL is my the very left image URL. So basically, what I need to do is basically copy that URL. So how I do it? I just double click on it. It will highlight, and I just, as an example of the JavaScript code or HTML code, I just highlight it, copy it, and paste it to this section to this part when there is an image URL placed. And that's all, right? So that's all for this photo. So I need to repeat that action for every single photo I want to add to my image slider. So let me very quickly do this. This is my first image. As you can see, when I go a little bit down, a little bit below, there is a second image, which is also highlighted on my landing page. Again, I just double click on the URL. The URL of my image is highlighted. I just copy it and paste it on the another image place right here. And the third one, the same strategy. So I'm finding the code, I'm finding the URL of it again, highlight it, copy, and paste. This option, this very example, only I am applying only three images here. However, there is no limitation when it comes to the amount of images you can add to your slider. How you can do it? You basically need to copy this whole element with the image URL, right? So we can actually create another slot in your image slider. So how I can do it? I can basically highlight it again, copy, and paste, right? And this will create another slot, and you will be able to add another image for this purpose. So let me just save and close this HTML element and publish the page and see if everything went right and the slider is visible on the page. There it is. And as you can see, this is not a static image anymore, because it's more like a slider, right? So you can navigate through it dynamically directly on our landing page. So yeah, just a different approach to the image gallery, more dynamic one.
Yeah, it obviously gives your landing page a fresher look. It makes it looks more
advanced,
modern, more advanced, more attractive at the same time, and more eye-catching. And what's important, images aren't the only use for a slider, right? So you don't need to use images in your slider, because as you could see, it's moving dynamically through the pages. So the good idea would be, for example, adding like a social proof elements to the slider. So instead of a typical photo, you can create an image with a user photo and his obviously legit opinion from Google reviews, etc. Create a single image from it, and paste a couple of such opinions in place of these photos, so they can move slowly, allowing your visitor to browse through them. And it's a nice approach to show your customers' opinions for your new visitors or your potential customers, because nothing speaks more and speaks better, of course, if the opinions are correct, speaks better about your product or service than the opinion of their actual users. Same again, if you have like a big amount of graphical content you'd like to use, instead of placing them one under another, like in case of a static gallery, you can place them in a slider so they're not making your landing page look too long, and you can pack more content in a shorter section, which is also important if it comes to general look of your landing page. Again, photos, properties, photographies or images or whatever really can be used in form of an image put in a slider, and it will shift nicely through your section, allowing your visitors to taste all the content as it should be. So yeah, that would be basically it. Pretty much we've went through all of the functionalities we have today. Let's hear the sound of success. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, hopefully that's gonna be that's gonna have any use for you guys. Um, Again, in our help center, you can find more than just these two custom features. So yeah, our help center is a real big knowledge base. So I think
Yeah, and our
it can be a
help
must.
center, of course, it's accessible through
That's
the
right.
very URL you can see on the screen right now. And from what I could see, we have a question already. Let's take a look at the question.
Yeah, so that's a good time. If you have any questions, just let us know.
Yeah,
We will try to address
there's
them.
a question from Asif: how to install search tool within a landing page? What do you mean a search tool? What do you mean a search tool? Could you specify, clarify, like a browser thing that you're typing a text within?
Yeah, that would require some
Yeah,
elaboration.
so yeah, that would require elaboration, because obviously if you're thinking about putting like a browsing window, as the Google search engine uses it. Okay, search text within. That would probably require finding a specific tool out there. Probably there are plenty of them. I don't have anything popping out in mind right now, but that will require finding a tool that could be integrated via the JavaScript. Obviously, that wouldn't be a native integration within Landingi editor. So what I could think of is to give it a go, just to find like a search bars tools via Google or any search engine in the internet, and try to find the one that could be implemented via the JavaScript code that could be
Or
added
basically
to.
embed code,
Yeah, embed
embed to
code.
external page.
Yeah.
So yeah, it also seems like I might be wrong, but it seems like it needs to be connected with some database. So as landing pages, our landing pages are not really database regarding texts directly on your landing pages. So yeah, as Patrick says, I think it would be some external software to cover that kind of feature.
Yeah, so it's not native, but I believe with some code tweaking, with additional codes like JavaScript code or HTML code as well. In this case, I think it might do the trick. Whereas there is always a chance to give it a go with our support team, which will gladly help you in checking if the solution is possible to implement.
Yeah, that's also correct. So are our landing pages
Help pages.
help pages built with Landingi? I'm not sure. Not really, I guess.
No.
Are
I
you
don't think they
referring
are.
to the
Yeah, the
help
help
center
center. The help
articles?
center. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's actually not a landing pages created within our editor, if that's what you
These are
mean.
actually in form of blogs, so it's in an external platform. Well, Landingi really served the purpose of creating a landing pages without like a blog-like thing and very similar stuff without tagging, etc. So yeah, Landingi, you could create a page very similar to one from the help center, but it wouldn't be working with the external tagging system and the page sitemap, etc., etc. So no, landing pages editor is for landing
The
pages
purpose
purposes. Yeah,
is a little
yeah.
bit different, and the building process is as well a little bit different. So yeah.
Okay.
All right. If there are any additional questions, we will hang out with you guys for a minute or two. So just don't
Okay.
hesitate to reach out to us.
A question. Okay, from Cisse, I reckon. Sorry if I do not pronounce it properly. What would be the actual question? Did I miss anything?
Yeah, I can't see it either. So maybe.
Is there a specific question from you, Cisse? Once again, sorry if I'm not pronouncing properly. Okay, I don't think there are any more questions today. Well,
So is that a good time to encourage our viewers to create a trial or to log into their Landingi account and try it out?
No better moment than that. So okay, so please remember that was actually your idea. So carry on. I wouldn't be a stealer.
Yeah. So please remember that in Landingi you got a 14 days free trial period if you are not our users already.
He's natural.
Yeah, I'm trying. So feel free to create a trial account, to get in touch with us in case of any questions, any problems, any ideas for your landing pages, for your features for your landing pages, to consult with us, to consult them with us, so we can tell you if they are possible to achieve and how you can actually do them. So yeah,
and in case if you are already our customers, you can schedule one-on-one session, and there is a big probability that you'll stumble upon Carol or me, and we'll have a very, very good time talking about your campaigns and goals and how to achieve them. So looks like we're done for today, right?
Seems like so. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Great cheer up for you guys for staying with us for that amount of time. Thanks for your patience. So big thank you to you, and don't remember, we're here for you. See you in the next webinar. Take care, and you have a good one.
Thank you very much for your time. Take care.